Stop being afraid of cooking omelets. It's pretty simple. You just need to know some of the top tricks. We're going to throw down some omelets and some hash browns today. If you're one of them people, you try to make an omelet, it burns up, it falls apart, it gets stuck to the pan. I'm your guy. I'm Cooking with Bob. I've been at this for 50 years and I got the omelet thing down pat. So let me show you how it's done. All right, let's get started. Just bust a couple eggs into the bowl. Once you get those eggs in there, a little heavy whipping cream, about a tablespoon. Gives it that fluffiness to the eggs. Get those mixed up really nice. You want it to be really mixed up so there's no big clumps. Whites or yolks. And a little Colby Jack, just shred your favorite cheese and get it ready. Fire up that stove. Put your pan on there and let it get hot, and I would highly recommend you have a cup of coffee while you're waiting. It's about the perfect time to get your pan ready to go. Once the pan's ready, your oil that you choose, anything works. I'm kind of a grapeseed oil guy, but cooking oil or avocado oil, anything will work. And then I get that all spread around. Put a pat of butter in there, and this is the key. If you see them bubbles busting, them great big ones, you're not ready. You want the little bubbles like this. So once they get down pretty small, if that's too much oil, you can dump some out. Doesn't really attach to the eggs. And then you just put your eggs in there. Listen to that sizzle. That's what you want. You want a couple bubbles, and you want to get those eggs put in there. I usually just tilt the pan some. You can already see if you're watching the edges, it's already coming loose. And a lot of times if I get a big bubble like that, I'll just go ahead and poke a hole in it. Because it'll self-correct. Not that it's going to matter once you flip it over. And you can see it just slides out. I don't have to touch it with the spatula. It just slides on its own. And I usually tilt it so that I can get the uncooked egg off to the edge. If it doesn't want to roll over, I just pull it over with the spatula. Makes it pretty easy. Make sure all your eggs are cooked. Next step's pretty easy. Just season to your liking. I just put a little bit of pepper and a wee little pinch of salt. Now you just grab that Colby Jack cheese you shredded earlier and just put it in half of the omelet, and sprinkle more in there. You can see it's already melting. And then you give her the flip. If you have the right spatula, it's pretty easy to flip. And then I usually just give her one more flip, just to make sure everything's combined and cooked through. And there you have one beautiful, fluffy omelet. It's a cheese omelet. It's beautiful. And that's all there is to cooking omelets. Look at this beauty. Nice and fluffy, completely cooked. So I just use these dehydrated hash brown potatoes in the big old carton because I don't want to mess with all that shredding and rinsing and wringing out. That's not me. These things turn out just as good or better. So let me show you how I do those. Never measure these things. I just guesstimate. Usually a big, decent-sized bowl like this is enough for 3 folks, so dump them in the bowl. Turn on that hot water, let it run a long time till it starts to steam, and I just cover them pretty much to the top. And then you remove them from the water. Take them over by your pan and just give them a stir every once in a while, and that moisture will all absorb. I guarantee it. Next, oil that pan as usual. Heat her up to medium, turn her down a little bit. Add them potatoes. Listen to that sound. So if you pay attention in the upper right corner, one of my biggest fans, look at that. He's taking a look-see, sniffing, did a little lick of the lips. Then we just move on to seasoning. I just put a little black pepper, because that's one of our favorites. And then just a sprinkle of salt. And this is an important part. Patience. I'm just kind of checking. See, we're a little stuck. Just a little bit stuck there still in the middle. We gotta let this roll a while. It will self-release. So after a while, sure enough, look at that. That center that you thought was stuck, it's just brown. It's self-released. That always happens in cast iron, and for any pot for that matter. So just tidy them babies up. And then I always put a little bit of butter, more for flavor than anything. Just a couple little pieces on top. After them pats of butter kind of melt, I just kind of smear it around the top. Get it combined in there a little bit. And then one thing I like to do, give her another mix and flip. Oh, those things are looking so delicious. Here's another little tip. Pull them potatoes to the side, throw a little butter in there. You could saute onions, you could saute peppers, you could saute whatever. Keep it to one pan. In this case, we're adding a little bit of garlic. Just some minced garlic. Gonna saute that in that butter for a little bit. And once you get that going, spread her around. And you don't want it to burn, because burned garlic tastes terrible. Once that's all ready to go, what I usually do is I just, same as I do my steaks, you just tilt that cast iron, get that butter and garlic there together, grab it with a spoon, and put it on top. And I'm just going to mix that around a little bit, give her a little combine, toss it around a couple times. And they're pretty well mixed up, so we'll let them go till we're ready to pull them off. Just smooth them out a little bit and let them cook. Not a big fan of super brown hash browns, so as you can see, those are looking nice. Give them a flip. That's about how I like them. So we'll just flip them again. And those are some beautiful hash browns. Let's plate them up. Oh, do those look good. How's that going to go with this nice fluffy omelet? A little bit of them and a little bit of hash browns. Very delicious meal. Very easy to do. Just takes a little patience. And that's all there is to it, my friends. I told you it was going to be pretty easy. You just needed to know some tips and tricks. Heat control, a little bit of oil. That's basically it. It's the way you cook every time in any kind of pan. I'm a cast iron guy, as you already know. So it's easy. You just got to have some patience. Have it heated. Preheated is the key. A little bit of fat, whatever you desire. It can be bacon, grease, oil, butter, all of the above. And then you put your product in this case eggs, and then later on hash browns. And it'll cook fine. It'll slide right around that cast iron skillet. So that's all there is to it. And with that, as always, I appreciate you watching. If you'll take some time, click that subscribe, ding that notification bell, make a few comments, let me know if these tips and tricks are helping you out. I'm dropping content every week, and I'd love to have you back. You all have a terrific day.